Alright guys, so for today I'm going to be swapping out the outer tie rod on the car. I don't know if it was just by me pouring that motor oil inside of the rack, but I got the key and I'm just going to turn the wheel, and it turns pretty dang effortlessly compared to before. At a standstill, I would not be able to do this with one hand. So I'm actually doing it with two fingers, so I don't know if that just means that it's broken or it just fixed it. But yeah, it was way worse before. But as you can see, you can hear that tie rod. So that side, it's worn, but there's no play, so it's gonna need it. But this one is worn out and it's dangerous, so it's got to get swapped out. And as you can see, the wheel is pretty straight and this is pretty crooked. Well, actually that's straight and the wheel is still crooked. So when I took out the rack, I ended up putting the splines in wrong, not very correct, so like it's more this way than this way. So instead of dealing with that again, because I hate being down there, anything underneath the dash I don't like, I'm just gonna end up taking off the hub and turning the hub and correcting it as good as possible. And I'm also thinking about doing a little temporary ghetto alignment along with this little thing, the inner tie rod, because that one's there and this one it's a little bit out. So by messing with the suspension, upper lower control arms, pulling out the radius rods and new spindle, subframe, cross member, everything's swapped out, the alignment got pretty jacked up. It's still drivable locally, but I kind of want to make it better for a longer distance. Alright guys, so before I take the wheel off, how much play. That is definitely way too much play. So yeah, later on in the future I am gonna use like an undercoating under here to make all this look good, take out that rust and everything, even though like we don't have rust issues here in SoCal. Yeah, I'm just gonna like grind it down and stuff and primer it and undercoat everything, so when you're looking at it from an angle you're not gonna see any of that grime. And I'm gonna end up doing that all around. And always make sure you get this little pack where it has the actual locking ring right there. This goes inside the rack and this bends over those tabs right there. So make sure you get this. If you don't have it, request the seller to give one, because if you don't put it, this could easily come right off and your wheel will go like this and you'll just veer right off the highway. So they thought of everything as far as safety, so make sure you have one of these. If you don't, actually you could probably reuse your other one if it's not too bad, if it's an original one and it's not all beat on. But yeah, I don't know what this spacer's for. So now it's time to inspect it, and I'm gonna turn the wheel and bring all that out. 30 minutes later, I had to get some tools that I was missing, and yeah, it kind of sucks when you don't have the tool to do the job, and then you're just scrambling around trying to make stuff work, but it can't get done because you just need a specific tool. I brought this bottle jack for the people who think this is not safe, because I do get comments whenever I use this. And yeah, as long as you're not underneath the car, it's fine. But one thing you do not want to do is use the little scissor jacks from, you know, the spare tire replacement. Yeah, that's a huge mistake. So little mini jack, bottle jack, and this, and everything's resting on this, so nothing can go anywhere. Alright, so now it's time to take off this nut finally, and I could access it and get right in there. And that's the little clip right here that I gotta bend over to unscrew all this. Now what I'm actually thinking about doing is taking this out and getting the length of this and just comparing it, since this is a different style, you know, different length tie rod, inner tie rod most likely. So I'm just gonna get the overall length. That's gonna give me around the same ballpark, but this thing needs an alignment anyways, it's shot. All right, so let's get this loose. Let me move my light right here. All right. I'm gonna try it with this ruler. Let's see if I can do it. It's like roughly 12 inches. I'm gonna say about 12 and a quarter. Alright, just gonna put it right in that ballpark range. Alright guys, so just by going in and out like this, that has a lot of damn play. So, I'm very glad that I'm doing this. Pull this boot away. Look at that. Alright, so alright guys, so the most basic little things are taking the longest. I cannot get that out. I don't know how hard I tightened it when I took it out the first time, but yeah, I've just got to keep working at this. Alright guys, so after my hands, Jesus. After about 10 minutes of fiddling around with this, I came up with a good idea. And that was basically to hold the rack, because this kind of moves a little bit. And this allowed the whole thing to kind of move. And every time I'll stick the wrench, everything would just move. So I'll actually have someone hold it locked all the way this way, and that allowed it just to lock, so I could just go and free it up, if that makes any sense. So that just basically fell off. So yeah, so gonna install the new one and finally get this done. Alright, so after looking at this more, you could see like the locking ring right there. If it ever focuses, right there. And so that's that bigger washer. And that washer basically goes inside there like that. So this one, it's got a thick washer, and it's got that clip also, and that's where it goes inside there. So I'm just gonna basically use it just like that. Pretty cool that they included this one, because usually they'll just include this. Get that. That goes like that. This goes like that over that right there. Man, that thing is so tight. Perfect. See that? I definitely got to tighten that up. Alright, so I gotta fit that locking ring in there so it goes inside the little splines, because those little things right there, they go inside there. So just as long as those are in, it should be good. Guys, so I got it 100% install, and that thing is super tight, so it's gonna be pretty good. The reason why I took off the spindle and the axle, because when I got the 17 in there for the other one, and it was like this, it'll just hit on the axle. So once I did that and turned the wheel all the way and applied pressure, it was enough leverage and movement to actually crack it loose, and that's in there. So now I'm just gonna put the axle, lower ball joint, and this outer tie rod, and this little job is done. Alright guys, so that's about it. I got both cotter pins in, both joints in, got that. This is loose, that's a 14. That goes right in there, and I could easily just turn that, not easily, but I could turn it. So now I'm gonna lower it and set an alignment by eyeballing it. So let's see how this goes. I can hear those bushings, control arm bushings, trailing arm bushings. Alright guys, so look at this wheel right here, kind of straight. Compare that one to this. Holy crap. So that's the wheel that I got to work on. You can see how it's turned in, and then you can see how this one's kind of straight. So this is the good one. This is the one where I've been rocking it like that, and now I just got to go underneath and bring this one out. Alright guys, so I'm gonna take it for a quick spin around the lot, and then I'm just gonna see how it drives. I don't have anything tightened up that locking nut, so let's go for a quick spin and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so I just test drove it going about 5 miles per hour, and I totally forgot to tighten up the lug nuts and the axle bolt, and so I had to limp it like 100 feet back to my tools because I was too lazy to walk it and go get the tools. But not too bad. It does kind of pull, but kind of confused where it pulls at though. Just got to keep eyeballing it. But the steering is so much more smoother. Kind of almost like as if it has power steering. Alright, so I'm going to try and eyeball this thing a little bit more, drive it real straight. Alright guys, so that's where that wheel is at. Looks pretty straight. Come over to this one, and it's kind of going a little bit in. So it's towed in. So I'm going to tow this one out a little bit more, and then lock up that lock nut, and that's it. Looks straight, but it's a little bit in. But yeah, so if you liked the video, please subscribe and comment. And there's a lot more stuff to do. And there's a lot more little projects as far as body work, paint, interior, junkyard missions, and everything. So if you like the video, smash the like and check out this CRX getting resurrected and coming back to life. Alright guys, peace out.